Open your ears and lube up your butthole. It's time for the What Do We Call It podcast. Now, here's your host. It's Jmann. Welcome to the What Do We Call It podcast. I'm Jmann.
I'm number one fan, Tim.
This is episode 150.
150.
It's a big deal, kinda.
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
Yeah, a little bit.
Because I've been doing this show for almost 3 years.
Has it been that long already? Wow.
Yeah, 2015.
Huh.
It's when me and Danny kicked things off.
Danny?
Yeah, and then a few months later, I kicked him off.
Good choice.
Yeah. Anyways, I want to tell you about a recent happening with
the Beast.
Okay.
She called me and she says she's been having problems with her baby, who we call Boo Boo. So Boo Boo, she thinks, has night terrors. She's going on 2. She's almost there. She'll be 2 in December.
Okay.
So Boo Boo will wake up in the middle of the night and she'll be screaming, and then she won't want to be in her bed or in her room, and then she won't go back to sleep. So the Beast had like 4 or 5 nights of she's saying, I only slept for like 5 hours.
Oh my God, no way.
That's still pretty fucking good.
That's all I ever really get sometimes.
You have 3 kids and it's school time now, so shut the fuck up. So I get a phone call 2 nights ago. What are you doing? I'm like, well, it's funny you call. I was actually going to call you to see if I could stop by and say goodnight to the girls because we're going to go to Menards. And this was me and the wife and the baby and little Lee.
Yeah.
She's like, okay, well, you think you could have your wife burn that sage for me that she told me to buy? I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm like, what in the hippie fucking shit are you talking about?
Voodoo, black magic.
She's like, she told me to burn some sage. She's like, well, here's the thing. She doesn't call her boyfriend Loverboy, obviously, and I'm not even sure if they're together right now. They're just roommates. So Loverboy was talking to the neighbor next door, who said the guy that used to live there, Jack, died in the house. And that the room that is Boo Boo's bedroom upstairs was his office. And it sounds like he died in there.
Wow.
I don't really believe in heaven or hell or God or the afterlife or any of that shit anymore.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, okay, still creepy.
Do you believe in ghosts, though?
No. Because how the fuck are you going to have ghosts if you don't have heaven?
That's why you believe in ghosts. There's no heaven. There's no hell. That spiritual energy goes somewhere.
Does it? Because I'm pretty sure when you die, your brain it's lights out. And then the signal slowly just...
This is something that a coworker and I got a theological discussion into one time. Is, every body, there's energy. We're energy. Trees are energy. We're energy. Everything's energy. And that energy has to go somewhere.
You sound like a fucking Scientologist right now.
But I'm not a Scientologist.
Thank Christ.
I'm just telling you what we were discussing.
Right. Anyway, so she wants us to come over so that the Dirty Bee can burn some sage to ward off the spirit of Ghost Jack. I have to preface the rest of this with she buys into this shit. She believes in
The Beast.
The Dirty Bee. She's spiritual and she believes in chakras and spirit animals. At her old massage therapy room at the spa she used to work at, she said there was the shadow of a guy that would just sit on the chair in the corner and watch her give people massages. And then I'd tease her about it. She's like, this is why I don't tell you this, because you don't take it serious and you make fun of me.
Yeah, I think most guys would tease.
I would tease. It sounds funny. Like, you're giving rubdowns. It's like, you think the ghost is like waiting to see if you give a happy ending and he's going to give himself a fucking tuggy? Or what?
Did you explain to
The Beast
that you're not friends and you only do favors for friends?
I didn't, because I wanted to go over and actually see this shit in action because I knew I could use it for material. And frankly, I find her level of stupidity and naivety hilarious.
Okay. Well, then continue on with the story because I want to hear this.
Right, so we're packing the car to go to Menards because we had to return some boards. And as we're getting there, I'm like, so seriously, there's a guy that's haunting Boo Boo's room. Maybe he just wants to tell her a story. Maybe he's just trying to get through to give a message to his family. Maybe we're going to go there and we're going to ward off Ghost Dad. Did you see Ghost Dad?
I saw Ghost Dad.
You don't ward off Ghost Dad. That man's an American treasure. I don't care how many women he roofied. American Treasure.
Wow.
Maybe Ghost Jack just wants to give somebody a Jell-O pudding pop and some Quaaludes.
Maybe Ghost Jack saw Ghost Dad. He's like, I can do that.
It's a cinematic tour de force. If you haven't seen Ghost Dad, you should see Ghost Dad.
At least once. I watched it a lot when I was a kid. I probably watched it about 6 times when I was a kid.
It's easily as good as The Sixth Sense.
Better.
Ooh. That's a preposterous statement.
I'm sorry, The Sixth Sense was horrible.
Ouch.
You mean to tell me that you've been dead for 8 years and not once your wife has spoken to you? Okay, I'm sorry. If you don't speak to your significant other for more than 3 months, that's divorce time, not 8 years.
There's a lot of elderly men that would call that me time.
No, because at some point you have to discuss. I got to take the car in to get repaired. Could you do it? Hello? Fucking answer me, woman!
Oh, is that how that goes at home?
No. But
Maybe you need a dry erase
some
board
houses.
to keep the peace.
We do have a dry erase board. We'd write chores on it.
You know what I would write on it? I would draw little penises with sunglasses on them, and then I'd write safety tips. Because Petey the penis doesn't want you to get hurt. I used to do it at the dry erase board at work all the time.
Petey the penis.
It was before we had cameras right over our desk. I used to draw this penis with like a fucking cowboy hat and giant sunglasses on. And I would say, Petey the penis says, always remember to buckle your safety belt. I'd write safety tips, but it was only at overnight time when the inmates were sleeping.
Did you write the safety tips over the tip of the penis?
No, I didn't. I wrote it next to the
should've.
penis. And I drew really fucking hairy balls, like short, little, stubbly, hairy balls. Anyway, back to Ghost Jack. So we're at the Beast's house. And she's like, okay, well, we're gonna do this now. And then she has to ask how to do it for the Dirty Bee, because she's not going to fucking do it for her. She teaches her how to light this shit. And she's going around swirling this burning sage. And she's like, why are you following me? I'm like,
Please
this
tell me
shit
you
is too
filmed
good.
it.
No, I didn't.
Did you film it? Oh, fuck. I could edit the shit out of that.
Yeah, so she's making the entire house stink. It
I
fucking
imagine sage
stinks.
doesn't smell very good when you burn it.
It doesn't. And I'm like, this is fucking stupid. I saw The Sixth Sense. Here's all you do. You go in and go, Jack, you're dead. Move into the light. Fuck off. A family lives here now and you're keeping Boo Boo Baby awake. Which is then in turn keeping the Beast awake. Which is turning her into a super cunt. And then she's taking it out on the kids. And me. And probably Loverboy. So, fuck off. You don't live here anymore, Jack. I'm like, see, that's all you gotta do.
Is that the Sixth Sense or is that Poltergeist?
I don't know. I don't remember Poltergeist because I was so young.
Poltergeist was kind of fuck off. You don't live here anymore. Get out of my house.
Oh, is that how
And
that
then
went?
the house imploded in on itself.
Huh.
You should watch it if you haven't.
I've
seen
seen it. I just don't recall all of it. And then I remember Esmeralda, the fucking midget seance bitch, comes in.
it. This house is clear.
Yeah, the only quote from that movie besides "They're here." 2 quotes. That's all you can get from that fucking movie. 2.
True.
Yeah, see?
No, well, okay. The second one was pretty good. Well, not.
Why did there need to be a second one?
They made 3.
Why did there need to be 3?
I don't know. Because that was a time when it's like, we need sequels so we can keep selling this shit. I don't know. No, but in the third one, there was a part where there's an Indian guy, and that station wagon of theirs is all kind of overheating and shit. And he goes, "It's like, your car is mad. I'll work with it. Get it to calm down." So he goes out and does his little seance thing or whatever. And the guy comes home the next day and the car's just smoking real bad. And Craig T. Nelson gets out and he goes, "Is it mad?" And he's like, "That fucking car is pissed." And goes in the house and slams the door.
Where was Dauber and Jerry for this?
Dauber and Jerry, who's that?
From Coach.
Oh, I don't.
The long-running
I never
Craig T.
watched
Nelson
Coach.
sitcom. Motherfucker.
I probably saw like a half an episode. Like, nope, not my cup of tea.
You do know that the voice of Patrick Star on SpongeBob SquarePants is Bill Fagerberg.
Didn't know that.
Yeah.
I do know Craig.
Mr. Fagerberg played Dauber on Coach.
Craig T. Nelson voiced Mr. Incredible. I know that much.
Oh, we weren't even talking about that.
But that's just something that he did.
Okay, this is
You
right.
talked
I
about
was connecting dots.
You talked some loser from Coach. I'm talking about the other loser from Coach. Who did voiceovers.
Yes, because Patrick Star is not one of the most recognizable cartoon characters ever.
Oh, I remember Patrick. I just don't know who did his voice. I'm sure I can picture the guy because I remember most of the characters from Coach.
I can't believe you don't know the Minnesota State Screaming Eagles football team. See? Bill Fagerberg. Fagerbacky. Fagerback. I don't know. It's fucking Dauber.
I think I remember that guy. Yeah.
So she's walking around swirling the fucking sage, and this shit is retarded. She's making the whole house stink. She's doing laps around the house.
Jesus.
And I'm just waiting for her to accidentally start a fire.
Is that like in flames?
You light it, and then you blow on it, so it starts smoking, and then
Okay.
you swirl the smoke around, and then it smells like you almost have a meth lab in your house.
Yeah. Ugh.
Well, it reminded me of when I bought this house with
The Beast.
And when I say with her, I mean when I bought the house and I let
The Beast.
move in with me because she contributed nothing to the mortgage.
Yeah.
Her friend's mom, who's like an uber hippie, came over here in the basement and said she felt some dark energy. And while I was at work one day, apparently her and her friend's mom came and burned sage to fucking clear the dark energy out of the basement.
Okay.
I clear the dark energy out of this room all the time. It's called the kids are sleeping and I don't want to wake up the wife by going to the bathroom. So I come down here and I pound one out into the sink. It's a stander-upper. Don't look at me like that. You never jerked off into a laundry tub?
Nope.
You're so repressed.
I lay down on the couch or the bed like a normal person.
Oh, do you not kneel next to the bed and try to fuck the mattress and box spring?
That was not me.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you said you were kneeling on the edge of the bed. Remember those 2 episodes about masturbation we did for Blumpkin and Friends?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those back-to-backs in a 2-part series?
Yeah.
And I believe you admitted to kneeling on the edge of the bed and beating off.
Yes.
But where did the
Because
cums go
it's like-
again?
Well, I had a towel out that would catch it.
On the floor?
Okay, I think you think... No, I was facing the bed.
You said you were kneeling on the bed.
I was kneeling on the bed. Here's
Uh-huh.
the bed. Here's the floor. Kneeling on the bed. That way.
Yeah.
Like I was doing my wife from behind.
Did you have one hand down and the other in contact? Or did
Yeah.
you just like one hand on your hip like Captain Morgan?
No,
and
this
just fucking
isn't
go
Bumpkin
down?
and Friends, so I'm not answering that.
That's fuck you. Don't you hold out on this audience of 5 people.
Gotta be Bumpkin and Friends. This is a more serious podcast.
Oh yeah.
It's supposed to be.
Yeah, there's been so much seriousness in this podcast for every episode. So I haven't heard back yet if Ghost Jack is gone. But you know of anybody else that might be that type of person, or any stories that you might be able to share of a similar instance of somebody trying to ward off evil spirits or burning sage or doing all kinds of stupid shit?
Mrs. Number One fan thinks there's a ghost in our house. And she's not the only person. Because Leadhead's family, her mom and Leadhead's aunt, both swear they saw a ghost down in the basement.
I would have said it was maybe the ghost of your first marriage, but...
Maybe. Every once in a while, there is something kooky that happens that, like, there's no logical explanation for it, like when I'm sitting at my computer editing or whatever. But I just think maybe that's just the ghost of the cat that died in the house fire, Milo. But again, it's
Now
just
you've
like,
got
what
ghost
the fuck
cats?
ever. Yeah, I don't fucking know. Like, the one drawer on my desk likes to just slowly slide open.
Is it on rollers?
So yeah, those the drawers on my desk, they're rollers, roller bearings. So I mean, they open and close very easy, but it's just weird because it's like I'll shut it, and then I'll do the thing, and I'll just out of the corner of my eye, it just slowly starts open. I'll shut it. 5 minutes later, it slowly starts to open, but it doesn't do it all the time because it hasn't done it for a couple of months. Now, part of me wonders if the desk's just not sitting quite level. It probably isn't, but I don't know. That's the only drawer that opens like that.
That reminds me of this time I was sleeping at my parents' house when I lived there, and my bedroom was still upstairs, so I believe I was in high school, and I'd stayed home for the weekend while they were up at the lake.
Mm-hmm.
And we had problems with birds getting down into the chimney.
Wow.
But for whatever reason, I'm laying in bed, and I hear the sound of something like in the air vents, like in the ducts, and then a loud-ass bang on the inside of one of the ducts in another part of the house. Freaked the shit out of me.
I got a story about that.
Like, my fucking adrenaline went way up. I couldn't sleep for like hours. I was trying to calm down. So what I did is I just laid in bed and I played the Blade soundtrack really loud. Because some part of me thought that playing techno music at an ungodly level would ease me down.
The ghosts really hate this. They'll leave.
Maybe. Maybe. I once tried to fight fire with a mouse I wanted out of our house in the basement by blasting Suicidal Tendencies' Still Psycho After All These Years album down in the basement. I just turned on a boombox and just left it for 45 minutes. I was hoping the mouse would get scared and have a heart attack.
Jesus Christ, dude.
It didn't.
Yeah.
It didn't.
I remember one Saturday I was leaving to go to work, and Leadhead called me and says, "There's somebody in the basement." I'm like, "There's nobody in the basement."
I'd say
She's
get
like,
the money up front.
I just heard a loud bang on one of the vents, and somebody's down there. So I was only like 6-7 minutes from the house. So I turned around, went back to work, go in the house. At this point, I don't own any guns, but I did have a sword collection in my den. What?
Do you understand the limited range of motion you have indoors with a sword?
Yeah, I had daggers too.
Anyway, Raphael.
So I grabbed the dagger. It was Leonardo.
Head katanas you're talking about. I'm talking about size.
Okay.
Daggers.
Well, I didn't like size very much. Anyway,
Move past it.
I grab a dagger, I take it out of the sheath, and I go walk around the basement, knowing full well there's fucking nobody in there because there's no way to get in the basement. The windows are all too damn small. And I walk around, and it's just like, I go back upstairs, it's like, there's nobody here, all right? There's nobody here. There's nothing down. I don't know what you heard. Maybe one of the vents just settled because of the change in temperatures or something. But I need to go to work. And, like, she wouldn't let it drop. Like a half hour later, she's like, "I thought I heard it again." I was like, "It's nothing. If anything, grab the dagger, go downstairs, or get out of the house."
Yeah, my first thought is, then fucking leave, you dumb bitch.
Yeah,
Jesus
at that point in
Christ.
time, we had both Pubert and Bubba, so they were
Uh.
just... Pubert was probably 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Bubba was just an infant.
So go for a drive.
Yeah, but whatever. So, and I got home, and I never heard the sound ever again after that. So I don't know.
No.
That was her big thing. She just totally freaked out on me.
It's hard to hear the sound of banging on the air ducts over the crackling of a fire that's ransacking your basement.
Yeah, my Lego collection and my Hot Wheel collection were in severe danger. That's all I had down there.
Wow, you really nerded that up.
That's all I had. Fuck. I just bought the house. I didn't have anything except the shit I had when I lived with my parents. Cause
Like those 2 couches they sold you?
that you sold me.
Remember when my parents sold your parents their old couches when they got new ones?
Yeah.
And then we drove it. It was the one and only time I ever went to your parents' house.
That was at their house, yeah.
And we rode in the back of my dad's truck on the way there, and I just kept farting into the cushions and saying I was getting them ready for you.
Yeah, those are the couches we put down in the basement.
Yeah.
Like, I never farted on those couches.
I'm just saying, I was just ripping ass into them for the whole half an hour drive to your parents' house.
After the legalities of us riding in the back of the pickup truck. At least he had a topper.
There was a
though.
topper.
At least he had a topper.
It was the late 80s, early 90s. No, this was the early 90s. You didn't need a
Early
seatbelt.
90s, yeah.
Fuck that shit. So I'm happy to report that I haven't gotten any calls from
The Beast.
about Ghost Jack. Hopefully Boo Boo Baby can get over her scream fits and rest comfortably. But actually, I hope she doesn't get over them so she'll keep having them. So I can be like, oh, I guess the ghost wasn't real. Dumbass.
If it gets to be that bad, just move that baby into a different room. But
Well, that's the
whatever.
thing is she was afraid that the juice would hear. She's like, why are you doing that? I'm like, Mom thinks there's a ghost of a guy named Jack because apparently a guy died in this house. She's like, oh, creepy. And she walked away. She didn't fucking care.
Yeah. See, she don't believe in ghosts.
Interact with the show on Twitter at What Do We Call It? That is at What Do We Call It? You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/group/What Do We Call It podcast show. For the What Do We Call It podcast, I'm Jmann.
And I'm number 1 fan, Tim.
And that's the end.